Hi guys, welcome back. My name's Morgan. This is my channel Pisces Paperbacks, and this is my kitchen. Welcome. I am going to be starting a reading vlog with you today. I started an audiobook earlier today, and I'm not liking it. I am enjoying it so far, which is good, and I'm just in the mood for some like moody, dark fall books now that it's November. So I thought I would take you along with me this week or until I decide to end this video. Earlier today, I started the audiobook for Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. Gillian, I'm never sure how to say her name. I'm liking it so far. I have historically struggled with thrillers. I haven't really read that many of them. I know I read Gone Girl when I was like 14, and I really liked it. I remember really liking it. But I also like don't have any memory of like before I knew the big reveal. So I really liked it, but I can't remember how shocked I was, although I know I must have been. You know what I mean? So that is true. I have never seen the Gone Girl movie either, but I loved the book. And then generally with thrillers, I get really frustrated and impatient because at a certain point, it's like you know most of the information and the rest is just building tension. And I'm like, okay, but what? Let's get to the point. Let's move it. Let's keep it rolling, you know? And so I get really bored a lot of the time. But I have high hopes. I'm enjoying it so far. Dark Places is about a woman named Libby Day, and when she was a young girl, her family was killed by her older brother, and she was like the key witness to this. She was the only survivor. And then now as like a 31-year-old adult woman, she is being kind of confronted by this group of true crime enthusiasts who believe that her brother is innocent, and she's kind of having to like revisit the facts of the day. And I'm 20% in, which is about 3 hours of audiobook. I'm liking it so far. Libby is a really interesting protagonist because, I mean, I think Gillian Flynn is kind of like known for writing these intricate, complex, possibly usually unlikable women, and Libby is definitely an unlikable woman. She's not like a good victim of this crime, you know what I mean? She's combative and argumentative and antisocial and struggles a lot with people, and she's really interesting, and I really like her. Just because it's not a dynamic that I think you usually get from or perspective that you really get from this kind of thriller. So I'm very interested. I don't love that it alternates chapters between like current day timeline and like chapters from her family's perspectives, like the day leading up to the murder, because I'm always like, well, they're going to be doing all the discovery of stuff in the present day, so let's just stick with that, and maybe it can even be a shorter book, you know what I mean? But I am not disliking it so far. I'm just a little like, because I know it's going to be coming all the time. But it's fine so far. I'm having a good time, and I'm going to listen to more of the audiobook while I take my dog on a walk and clean up a little bit around my apartment, because I would say messy by nature, you could argue, and it might be nice to start the week off with a little bit of a clean environment. So that is my plan for today, and I will bring you along with me. Yay! I'm realizing how much of my messy apartment you can see from this angle, but I cannot find it within myself to move or to use the tripod that I literally have. You're propped on my bookshelf. Good morning. You might be asking yourself, Morgan, why do you look like shit? I just went on a run for the first time, like ever. It's something that I think I want to try out, going for runs in the morning, but at what cost, right? Anyway, good morning. It's a couple days after I last spoke to you, so it's Tuesday morning now, and I am like 60% into Dark Places, and I am enjoying it. I definitely am. I'm intrigued. I'm stressed out, that is for sure, like extremely stressed out. But I have gotten to the point of the book where I'm like, what else is, like, I have 40% of the book left. What else is going to be in it? I feel like we've already done a lot of stuff. Like, I feel like it could begin to approach the climax now of the book, but clearly there's more. So that's kind of like, this is what happens when I read thrillers. I get to this point and I'm like, what are you going to do now? But I trust Miss Flynn to lead me right. Can you stop fucking up my couch? All right, see ya. It's been several days since we last spoke, and you might be able to hear it, but I got a cold. And I also spent the last 3 days. The last time we spoke was, I think, Tuesday morning, and now it is Friday evening. And I spent that entire time doing nothing but watching marathon vlogs on YouTube, because I think I mentioned in my last clip that I'm like kind of want to get into running. I don't know. But this morning I woke up and I was like, no, I need to finish this book. I have like 40% left, and it's an audiobook. I know that if I listen to it really fast, I can like speed through it. So I finished Dark Places, and I really liked it, which was good because, as we've discussed, I struggle with thrillers. And there was a moment where I was like, oh no, I'm getting bored, but I pumped that audiobook up. I listened to it on 2.25 speed. Like, I was like, let's get through this. And I really liked it. I really liked the main character, Libby. I liked how mean and angry and kind of aggressive she was. I often feel like in a lot of books, not just thrillers, every single genre, I often feel that female main characters are not angry enough. I feel like if I was going through the things that they were going through, I would not be as demure and accepting of their circumstances. Libby does, like, actually punch people. I've never actually punched someone. But, like, I'd be yelling. I'd be getting upset, you know what I mean? And I think that she was, like, the right amount of angry and pissed off. Like, I liked that a lot. I don't know, I just really liked it. I thought it was good. I didn't tie it up too well in a bow. Like, sometimes when you get to the end of a mystery and you're like, well, everything wouldn't turn out perfect like that. I was also out in the rain. That's why I look literally horrendous. But I really liked it, and I want to read another book this weekend, and then I will probably finish this vlog on Sunday. So yeah, I've been keeping busy. My dog is just like passed out. Oh my god, you can see all this stuff on my floor. Anyway, hello again. I took Advil and I ate dinner, and I've been downing tea. I've been really into tea lately. That's like a new development. I've always liked tea more than coffee, although I like cold brew more than both of those things. But I've gotten really into tea lately. I think it's because I can get it every morning at work. So it's just interesting because I've never really been into hot drinks either. I'm much more of a cold drink person. But yeah, I've been downing hot tea. This is also a little embarrassing. I always considered myself like I just use honey. I just sweeten my tea with honey. I don't put anything else in there. And it was like almost a bit of like a superiority thing, which is like embarrassing and cringy. But that's how I was for like years. And then they didn't have honey at work. So I started just putting in like Sweet and Low, like 1 packet of Sweet and Low. And it sweetens the tea so much easier than honey. To get the tea sweet enough, I need to put in like so much fucking honey, and I just use 1 packet of Sweet and Low, so now I use Sweet and Low in my tea, and it's delicious. Anyway, I wanted to spend some time with you right now. I have a candle here. I've also very recently, like within the last month, gotten into candles. I've never really been into candles for, I don't know. I was always scared of burning my house down, but I've been into them lately, and I have this beautiful Black Sea candle that I got at the Richmond Street flea market, and it smells so good. I'm very into like light scents. Does it smell like water, air, linen, cotton, cucumber? This smells like the sea breeze. Like that is the kind of thing that I'm into. Although I also have this one from IKEA that was like cranberry scented. Clearly I went through that. Anyway, here are the 2 books that I'm thinking about reading this weekend. First is The Woman in the Library, because I actually already started this a couple weeks ago. I got the audiobook, and I got maybe not even 10% into the audiobook, and I stopped because, and this very rarely happens to me, but I was getting confused because there were chapters of the story, and then between chapters there were letters from somebody reading this story as if it was like a manuscript, like their friend was writing a book and they're reading the manuscript and sending their feedback chapter by chapter. And I was getting
a little confused with all the names. So I thought, I own the book. I already had the book, so why don't I just read it physically? And that was, of course, several months ago. But yeah, The Woman in the Library by Sulari Gentill. A group of strangers who happen to be sitting at the same table in the reading room at the Boston Public Library, and then a scream shatters the silence. And I think the next day, I remember the next day they find out that someone had actually been killed, and that was the scream that they had heard. So it's then being like, well, someone in the library must have killed her, and they were all kept there for a while before they were allowed to leave, and like they each have secrets. It's like a group of 4. So I'm very into that. And then this is actually the one I want to start with. It's Hell Followed With Us by Andrew Joseph White, which beautiful cover. Obsessed with the cover. And this is kind of a YA horror fantasy about a trans boy, Benji, who escapes from a cult, kind of almost post-apocalyptic, and this cult had brought about Armageddon, and then I believe he has kind of been mutated into a bioweapon, mayhaps. I'm very into that. Before I do any of that, this is a long clip, sorry about that. I said I would show some of my knitting. This is what I've been working on lately, and it's taking forever. So I was actually knitting it pretty fast. Let me show you. It's like, it's gonna be a sweater. So it's gonna be a big, giant, oversized, cozy sweater. So this is like the neck, and these are like the shoulders. Big, comfy sweater. But what I'm doing right now is binding off the bottom hem, and it's not a sewn bind off, but it's the Italian bind off, which you do with a needle and like a long thread of the yarn. And it just takes so much longer. So yeah, I just wanted to show you kind of what I've been doing, what I'm planning to do this weekend. I also got this water bottle, which I didn't have a water bottle I had a bunch that I got like for free in college, because you just kind of you just accumulate free stuff at college. But I hadn't had one for a while, and now that I'm running, I wanted a water bottle, and I wanted one that I could bring to work and have water on my desk, because that's actually been something I've been thinking, like, since I got the job in July. I've been like, I wish I had water at my desk. Now that I bring this to work, I have to pee like every 20 minutes, so maybe not a great idea. Yeah, so that's kind of it. Oh, this is just on the table, so I'll show you. I made this baby blanket for someone at work. I need to sew in the ends, and then I can bring it in. And I also made this matching baby hat. Look how small it is. It's like the size of my face. Obviously, I will wait until I'm not sick, and then several days after that to actually give it to the person, and I'll wash it in the middle, but I do need to bring it in. It's been a couple weeks. So that's what I'm up to. Hope you enjoyed this clip. It's like 8 minutes long. You're getting a lot of clips of me tonight. I don't know, I'm just in the mood. Look, it looks great. I don't know what was taking me so long with this hem, like the other times I sat down to do it. Although, I took a little time lapse, but I didn't take the time lapse of the whole thing. The second half of this, it did take me about 50 minutes, like just under 50 minutes. So I guess if this was the only time this week that I like sat down and dedicated time, then yeah, I would feel like it took forever. Maybe I just got into a groove. I don't know. I use the tubular bind off. If anybody knits, I use the tubular bind off. It's my favorite one to do. It just takes a while. But I think it looks really good in terms of the fit. Like it's, you know? Like I have to do the neck, obviously, which I'm going to do next because I just want to see what it's going to look like with the neck. And then I'll do the sleeves last. But like, this is going to be a comfy sweater. I'm really excited, and you can't feel it, but it is very soft. Hi again, guys. It's been, I think the last time I talked to you guys was Friday night. Shocking to no one, I did not read the whole weekend. It is now Sunday afternoon, but I feel like the video is getting a little long, so I'm just going to wrap it up. I read Dark Places, and I knit a lot. That's all I did. I'm almost done the collar. I'm like over half done the collar on my sweater, which I had not started at all the last time we spoke, and I'm really excited about it. I'm not going to Knitting Circle today. That's one of the things that I do now every Sunday. I live literally down the street from a yarn store that is like
Really cool, really nice. And every Sunday they have a knitting circle, and it is so fun, and I love it so much, but obviously I don't want to go if I've had a cold. So I'm just chilling at home today, and I just wanted to say thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I also wanted to film my little outro because I feel like my hair looks very cute and like whimsical right now with my bangs and these like long pieces, but like you can barely see them, so whatever. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!